Hello, it's Melissa from Swindon Libraries and Information Service, back with another short video idea of something you might want to do in January when we're all feeling a little bit flat. So I thought we'd think about salt dough. Now, before you say it, salt dough isn't just for kids. It's great because it's a really cheap and easy to get your hands on modelling material. So I've got a couple of ideas. Now I'm using quite a small amount of salt dough because it still gave me enough to make all of these things. Okay, and I'll talk through just in a moment. So I don't think you want any recipe that gives you really large quantities because otherwise you will end up with loads. Okay, so once you've mixed your dough together and go steady with putting the water in, otherwise it will go a bit runny. Can be really therapeutic to give the dough a really good knead and a squeeze and whatever. The salt obviously helps to preserve it, but really good to give it a good old squeeze. And I've found that keeping it in a plastic bag, just taking out a small little bit for the bit I'm working on, is the best way to keep it nice and soft. Okay, but as I say, this recipe here gave me all of this, and I tend to do my measurements with a jug because then I'm only making one container dirty. Okay, I have less washing up. So first of all, you might want to do something like gratitude leaves, and I found a template online for an oak leaf, popped it on a little bit of cardboard, and I used that to make my oak leaf shape, and I needed to sort of prick it with a skewer to get the outline, and then I cut those dots. Then I held it over a metal spoon and baked it in a really low, slow oven after I'd cut a hole in the top for hanging. And then I've just painted it with some nail varnish, but again you could use just clear PVA glue or other types of paint, perhaps acrylic paint that you happen to have at home. Okay, so that's a idea for one thing you might want to do with salt dough. The other thing I thought would be quite nice, again because it's January, is maybe something like a coaster that could be popped in an envelope and sent through the post. So I've just used an ordinary biscuit cutter, rolled out my salt dough nice and thin, and then before I put it in the oven, this is actually my husband's thumb because my thumbnail was going to make an impression otherwise, pressed his thumb down hard onto the salt dough, and then I've decorated it to make a little coaster once it's dried out. Okay, so you can see that I've just added Somebody Loves You, and I gave it all a coat with some sparkly nail varnish because sparkly is always good in my eyes. Okay, so again, something to cheer yourself up or something to maybe pop in the post to somebody who's feeling a bit low. Okay, see how you get on.